Hello everyone, my name is Havian, and today I'm going to be playing some more Sword Art Online Lost Song. This time I'm going to be showing you sword skills, or at least I'm going to start showing you the sword skills. I'm going to be starting off with dual blades. I'm going to be going through all 6 of the sword skills that it has at the moment and telling you what I found about them and just going through the skills in general. So I have actually got Kirito's mastery to 1000 in terms with the dual wielding, and I've used some items that reduce my attack to 0 just for this, so I can attack some lower level enemies. Because I am level 1000, I don't want to actually kill the enemies too quickly, so I've got my attack at 0. So don't really take the damage into account, and I'm using really low level weapons as well, so don't worry about the damage itself, but just watch what the skills actually do. So I'm going to go ahead and start attacking enemies. Even though this is my attack is 0, I'm still going to be doing damage to enemies because I do have a little bit of element on my weapons or on my character. So I'm going to start off with Gale Slicer. So the first skill is, let me get through this. Gale Slicer. Rush forward, slashing at the enemy. So this is the first skill you actually get for dual wielding, or it's one of the skills you actually start off with. And I've found that it is useful for actually cancelling enemies spellcasting, and it does give you a bit of super armor as well. So when you're actually in the animation, you don't get broken out of it unless someone casts things like Paralyze. And you do pierce through enemies. So if you've got a few enemies standing together, you can actually fly through them, like so. So it is a piercing attack. So let me see, I'll wait until, there we go. I'll wait until they start doing an animation, and then I'll start casting. And you'll see that even though I take damage, it doesn't actually break through the attack. So that's exactly what I mean by super armor. If you're in the arena, or if you're doing PvP, then it is a pretty good skill to actually cancel an animation out. And it does seem to break through guard pretty easily, or at least it takes a good chunk off the guard bars. But alright, that's the first skill down. Let's take a look at the second one. So second skill is going to be Final Revolution. Extend both swords and spin in place, damaging all enemies within range. So this is one of the first AoE skills you actually get. And by AoE I mean area of effect. So you can stand in the middle of a group of enemies and you can hit pretty much all of them there, as long as they're close to you. But this skill costs 400 MP, the previous one costs 300 MP, this one costs 400 MP, and it has super armor as well. So if enemies are hitting you while you're actually casting this, you won't break out of it unless they do something unless they give you a status effect that does actually stun you, or does lock you in place. Something like Paralyze, or what were the other status effects? Paralyze, the sleep, bind, all those kind of things. Alright, so I'm going to gather a few enemies up, and then I'm actually going to cast it, and you'll see what I mean by area of effect. So here we go, I've got a group here. Got all of them. Got you. Let's see if I can grab these two as well. This is one of the skills you actually learn really early. And when I say that, let's take a look at the levels you actually learn them. So you learn this one at skill 100, and Gale Slicer was 100 as well. So you pretty much start off with those skills. And then the next skill is going to be Specular Cross. So I'm going to equip that one and show you exactly what it does. So Specular Cross, drop into defensive stance, instantly countering an enemy's attack. So this is one of the counter attack skills for dual blades. It costs 800 MP. It's a weird one. I prefer dodging an enemy, so I save MP. I prefer like just dodging out of the way, so I don't actually waste an MP doing the counter attack, because it does have a really small window of a really small timing window, but it does have a really high knockdown chance. So this one, I'll say this is more of a skill that is best if you want to have the advantage over an enemy. So it's gonna be risky, but there's a high chance that you're gonna make your enemy or your opponent vulnerable, and then you're gonna have a chance to actually counter attack with another skill when they're knocked down on the ground. And this skill doesn't seem to be one that can counter. It doesn't seem to be one that can counter AoE skills, but it does seem to be good at countering any of the other skills that enemies may do on you, because it does. While you're countering, you are actually invincible. So there we go. I counted that one. He knocked me down. Let me see if I can counter another one. Come on. Let's wait for some sort of an attack. Come on. No, timing was too bad on that one. There we go, counted that, but he was facing the wrong way. Come on, hit me. Someone hit me. Anyone hit me. Don't circle around me. There we go, counted that. Too far away from him. too far away from him. See if I can get one more. But you can see that it does cost quite a bit of MP when you're actually trying to pull this off. So that's why I prefer... Man, these guys are knocking me out. That's why I prefer to just evade, or just to do a normal evade. And you can see it's got a little bit of an AoE to it. Don't have enough MP to cast it anymore. All right, so let me actually eat an MP potion, get a little bit of MP back, and then I'll show you the next skill, Signos Onslaught. Let's take a look at that one. So this is one of the new skills they've added. They added in the 2.0 update. This one does cost 800 MP. From a cross trace, delivering a intense slashing attack. Delivering an intense slashing attack. This one is it's a pretty cool skill. So I'm going to use it now. This one does have super armor, and it does have a high knockdown chance as well. So I'm going to go ahead and block that, and just go ahead and do it. Well, it's killed the enemy instantly. But I don't think I'm going to be able to knock down any of these because they're going to just die in one hit anyway. But it does have a really small AoE to it. So you can hit multiple enemies as long as they're like both directly in front of you. Or if they're in front of if you got multiple enemies, they all need to be right in front of you, and you actually be able to hit multiple ones. But that skill does actually have a high knockdown chance against enemies that do survive it, and against, I guess, opponents in the arena as well. But this one does have super armor, so you're gonna take damage while you're getting hit, but it won't break you out of the actual animation. All right, so next skill. This is one that people should be totally familiar with. Starburst Stream. Costs 1,200 MP, and it is 16 hit. The good side to this skill is it's powerful. The downside to it is going to be that you leave yourself vulnerable. So if you don't actually hit your target, you're left open while you're actually swinging your swords in the air. So anyone could start casting magic or attack you from behind or something like that. So you will be able to take damage while you're doing your sword skill, but it just won't knock you out of the animation. So if you don't get the target, you're a sitting duck basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. But the nice thing about Starburst Stream is you do have a bit of movement during it, so you can actually steer your direction a little bit. So let's go. So there you can see I'm moving around a bit. You do have a bit of movement. So if you want to stay mobile, I'd say that this sword skill is going to be a really good one if you want to be powerful and actually move around a small distance. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the next skill. So that skill, Starburst, is another skill that's pretty good for actually landing status effects because you do so many hits. But the Eclipse is another one that's probably going to be much better for landing status effects because it does land 27 hits. So one of the most powerful dual wielding skills. After closing distance, unleashes a incredible 27 hit combo. This one costs 2,000 MP, so it's gonna eat away your resources, but it's very powerful. And it does have a high chance to knock the opponent down at the end once the last hit actually lands. And this skill will actually give you super armor as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. When your opponent's knocked down after, it does give you a nice chance to do a follow-up attack. So you could probably do another Eclipse or another move directly after because the opponent's laying on the ground. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the Eclipse now. But you can steer your direction, but you don't have as much mobility as you do with Starburst. But you do a slight dash towards the target when you actually initiate it. A very slight dash. Let me chug some MP. Right, let's go for this again. So you can steer your direction a little bit, but this skill is going to drain your MP. But it's really, really strong. When you're actually fighting against enemies that don't die in one hit like these guys. Even though I've got like no attack, I'm still being able to kill these in one hit. There you go. There's the Eclipse again. The final hit is the one where pretty much all of your hits lands. So you can see where. Let me chug this. You'll be able to see the amount of hit. I don't know if there's anything that's strong enough in this area. I don't think there's anything in this area that will actually last the last few hits. But actually, let me fly up. There's like level 300 or 500 enemies up top somewhere. I'll see if I can find one. But if you look at if they survive, if you look at the final hit, you'll see that the final hit of the attack hits quite a few times. Even though the animation looks like it's just one hit at the end or one large hit at the end, you can see that it actually does land a few times. So let's see what we got here. Level 350 jelly or slime. Let's give it a shot. Not strong enough. Not strong enough. But if these two don't die, you'll get the point. Oh, there you go. You saw that one. That one hit the final hit on, well, the second jelly that was in the background took the final hit, and you can see that it hit like about 6 times in one blow right at the end. But yeah, Eclipse is really powerful, and it's really good for actually landing status effects on the enemy. If you actually need to land status effects, if you have status effects on your character or on your weapons, which I would recommend if you're playing a dual wielding character. But that skill does have a really high knockdown chance right at the end, so you can use it to follow up, and it has super armor, so you will be vulnerable when you're locked in your animation, but you won't be able to they can't knock you out of the actual, whoa, these things are following me. They can't actually knock you out of the animation of the Eclipse unless they do something like paralyze or any of those stats effects that just lock you in place. Paralyze, sleep, those kind of things. But there you go, that is dual wielding, or dual blades in Sword Art Online Lost Song. Those are the different sword skills you can do. The only characters that can actually use this at the moment are Kirito and Rain. The other characters will not be able to use dual wielding and won't be able to use these sword skills. I will be moving on to the other weapons very soon, but until I make those videos, I will see you all later.